Okay, so it's been a minute. It's actually been more than a minute. It's about a month, right, since the TikTok was not in the app stores. And I was one of those smart people that an hour before TikTok came back on, after like 14 hours of being off, I was one of the smart people to delete it an hour before it came back on. So then I had to wait, of course, like everyone, or half the world. And so anyway, I have a lot to talk about. Let's talk about Blake and Justin. Yeah? Okay. Oh. Alright. That one was cheesy juicy. Maybe there's juicy cheesy in this one too. Okay, so what are your opinions on, did they do it? Did they do it? I say yeah, and I'll tell you why. So Justin Baldoni was on the podcast. If he hadn't done the podcast, I would say no, and I would just think that she's just a crazy kook. But he talks like he is going to therapy, that his therapist and his wife, they're trying to like make amends, and that's fine. Okay, but the problem is that the way he's talking in this podcast is someone who is going to therapy over cheating, him coming out to his wife and his wife saying you have to take 30,000 steps in order to keep this family. Because at the end of that podcast, I don't know if anybody's watched it, but if you have, at the very end of that podcast, he talks about healing wounds with his father and also having to go to his son and basically pour his heart out to his son that he's not a perfect person. Why would you go to your child that is like not of age of really understanding what's going on in a sense? Why would you have to do that? Unless the child has seen some stuff, in the home, or that the wife, had told him to talk to him about. So yes, I do. Now, with that being said, I'm just gonna go through the Enneagram really quick. She's a harder number, and he is a softer number. He reminds me of like an Enneagram 2, 3, 6, possible 7. 2, 3, 6, 7. If you know the Enneagram, you know what I know. Those are the softer numbers. Blake Lively's a harder number. You want to get too spiritual too. There's like the Jezebel spirit that only jumps from situation to situations that they can control, dominate, devour. So, with that being said, let's go back to the Enneagram. So, with him, I think that's how she gained a little more power, insight into that situation. Rightfully so, though, her being the way she would be, which is her Enneagram 8, which is the hardest number on the Enneagram perspective, she's going to try to defame him, to do everything in her power to make it look like it was not such a sensitive, romantic thing. Because honestly, I don't see this Ryan Reynolds dude being super everything that she wants. I said it on my podcast and I'm going to say it again. Ryan Reynolds is not straight. He's not fully straight. He's not fully. I've been in entertainment. I've been around men like him. I've been around men like Justin and women like Blake. Let me tell you. Blake and Ryan will not divorce though. They got a business together. They've got kids together. Don't they have like 3, 4? Yeah. It would have to be in a way that is so so laid out, public. I can't even talk. My mouth's numb. It would be so like work related in order to get to the divorce part, like calculated. So this is part 1. I'm trying to gain all my thoughts into this because it's been a minute.